Ever find yourself working on a school paper, struggling to rephrase a complex sentence without losing its meaning?
Is there anything you're doing to protect yourself from cyber attacks at all?
Yes. It's one of the few places where I changed what I do radically because I'm scared of cyber attacks. Canadian banks are extremely safe. In 2008, no Canadian banks came anywhere near going bust. So they're very safe banks because they're well regulated, fairly well regulated. Nevertheless,
One thing I do know though about money is you never keep all your money in one account. You want to spread it out. You want to have different assets. You want to put a portion of your money into stocks, okay? A portion of your money into savings. Then you probably want to have a main checking account, different other, if you want other checking accounts or, different bank accounts you might want. But it's also good to keep cash on you. Investing in metals is always important. Gold, silver, crypto. If you know what you're doing, please don't. I'm not really pulling nobody. Please don't get CoffeeZilla on me. Hey, Coffee man. I'm just telling people how to keep their bread going, man. Just don't get mad at me, man. I just say crypto. Crypto isn't bad. That's what I was saying, man. No, don't get mad at me, man. I ain't say nothing. Shoot, he's about to come here. Then the next one, stocks. Stocks, always amazing. Always a good way to make your money grow. I think I already said that, though. But that's the one thing about money. Oh, and cash, too. Cash, art, and, I see like a lot of what the rich people are doing, they're getting AP Rolexes, and they'll get the ones that appreciate in value. And so then they'll just be walking around with it on. It's like $50,000 or something, higher than that. I would just say, when it comes to having money, just know what you're doing. Obviously you shouldn't have, if you have $100 million, please don't put it all in one account. Please don't. Please don't. Spread it out. I'm not telling you how to do it, what to do it. I'm not trying to see your ROI, social security number. You go tell that to them. Don't get CoffeeZilla on me. I'm just telling people on how to be smart with their money. Don't get mad at me. Please don't. I ain't do nothing to nobody. So, you gotta, just know what you're doing when it comes to handling money. And then also understand, the portion of it always is going to get spent on bills, taxes, and personal expenses, and fun time expenses. That's what I like to call them. Like going out to the movies, concerts, buying shoes, fun clothes, going out to eat. You're always going to be spending money on those types of things. It's always going to have some type of cash flow coming in so it can benefit you in your life. I hear a lot of people always say this too. It's not about the money. It's not about the money. It's not about the money. And what I heard Floyd Mayweather say actually interested me because he said your clothes cost money, your shoes cost money, your car costs money, your house costs money. You have to pay for your water so you could live. You have to pay for your food so you can eat the best food so you could live better. Everything costs money, so why not make more of it? I added that last part, but so why not make more of it? Why not make more, so you can make sure you and your family is well taken care of? Everything around this world revolves around money. So you gotta play the game. Your family has to eat. I always hear older people say this. Hey, more money, more problems. Oh, hey man, what I know in life is no matter what part in life you go to, there will always be conflict. So be ready for it. Hey, you want the poor people problems? You want poor people problems where you don't know where you're gonna live, how you gonna live? You don't even know what you're gonna do the next hour. You scrambling to find breadcrumbs on the freaking stove because you're worried about food. You want those problems? Especially with jobs being taken now by AI? I don't think you do. Or do you want the rich people problems? Where did I park my Bentley today? What car should I take? That sounds fun to me. Hey, that sounds fun to me. So it's all about understanding on what you want out of life and how you use your money and what to do, how to be responsible with your money. At the end of the day, it's you. It's you. Defeat yourself, and you could do great in life. Defeat your mind, defeat your temptations, defeat everything, all the hurdles in your mind, and you will not believe on how far you will go in your life.
I think a cyber attack might be able to bring down a bank. Now, if you have all my savings are in shares in banks, held by banks. So if the bank gets attacked and it holds your shares, they're still your shares. And so I think you'd be okay unless the attacker sells the shares, because the bank can sell the shares. If the attacker sells your shares, I think you're screwed. I don't know. I mean, maybe the bank would have to try and reimburse you, but the bank's bust by now, right? So I'm worried about a Canadian bank being taken down by a cyber attack and the attacker selling shares that it holds. So I spread my money, my children's money, between 3 banks.
Smart man right here. I'm not one of those people to tell you don't keep any money in the bank, but I also have a variation of accounts that you have or places where you put your money. Like I said, sometimes it's not smart to put all your eggs in one basket because it will get cracked. Hold on, hold on. Yo, I'm feeling myself today. Hold on, chat. Hold on. I gotta, you know what I mean?
In the belief that if a cyber attack takes down one Canadian bank, the other Canadian banks
what's up, y'all? How
very
y'all doing?
quickly get very careful.
How y'all night
And
going?
do you have a phone that's not connected to the internet? Do you have any, I'm thinking about storing data and stuff like that. Do you think it's wise to consider having cold storage?
I have a little disk drive and I back up my laptop on this hard drive. Mm-hmm. So I actually have everything on my laptop on a hard drive. At least, if the whole internet went down, I had the sense I still got it on my laptop and I still got my information. Yeah.
I got Lydia outside. We're going to do some recording while I finish up my yard work and see if the new auto-tune vocal prep can help us.
Then the next thing is using AIs to create nasty viruses.
What's up, James?
Okay.
And the problem
what's
with
up,
that
James?
is that
What's up,
just
man? How you doing,
requires
man?
one crazy guy
you doing,
with a
man?
grudge. One guy who knows a little bit of molecular
You
biology,
good tonight?
knows a lot about AI,
Bad.
and just wants to
James
destroy the
died.
world. You can
What's up,
now
James?
create new viruses relatively cheaply using AI. And you don't have to be a very skilled molecular biologist to do it. And that's very scary. So you could have a small cult, for example. A small cult might be able to raise a few $1 million. For a few $1 million, they might be able to design a whole bunch of viruses.
Well, I'm thinking about some of our foreign adversaries doing government-funded programs. I mean, there was lots of talk around COVID and the Wuhan laboratory and what they were doing in gain-of-function research. But I'm wondering if in, a China or a Russia or an Iran or something, the government could fund a program for a small group of scientists to make a virus that they could,
I think they could, yes. Now, they'd be worried about retaliation. They'd be worried.
But I mean, they probably already be doing it. They just don't talk about it. Y'all be thinking everything that the government the people who are in power, positions of power, y'all be thinking that everything they do goes by the media. Oh, I'm good. How you doing? Not everything you do goes by the media. Some, they will be doing stuff that you never know. So, yeah, man, it's just just keep in mind, and I would just use common sense and logic when a lot of this comes. When you read a lot of this, because I do. Yeah. Because, a lot of it, might not be the whole truth. Might be a little bit of truth. Might be the whole thing. Little lies added in there. But it's always good to use common sense. I would always use common sense.
I know the government's doing the same to them. Hopefully that would help keep it under control. They might also be worried about the virus spreading to their country.
Okay.
Then there's corrupting elections.
Okay.
So if you wanted to use AI to corrupt elections, a very effective thing is to be able to do targeted political advertisements where you know a lot about the person. So anybody who wanted to use AI for corrupting elections would try and get as much data as they could about everybody in the electorate. With that in mind, it's a bit worrying what Musk is doing at present in the States, going in and insisting on getting access to all these things that were very carefully siloed. The claim is it's to make things more efficient, but it's exactly what you would want if you intended to corrupt the next election.
How do you mean? Because you get all this data on the
You get all this data on people.
Yeah.
You know how much they make, where they live. You know everything about them. Once you know that, it's very easy to manipulate them.
Because you can make an AI that...
You can send messages that they'll find very convincing, telling them not to vote, for example. So I have no reason other than common sense to think this, but I wouldn't be surprised if part of the motivation of getting all this data from American government sources is to corrupt elections. Another part might be that it's very nice training data for a big model.
But he would have to be taking that data from the government and feeding it into his...
Yes. And what they've done is turned off lots of the security controls, got rid of some of the organization to protect against that.
So that's corrupting elections.
Okay. Then there's creating these two echo chambers by organizations like YouTube and Facebook, showing people things that will make them indignant. People love to be indignant.
Indignant as in angry? Or what does indignant mean?
Feeling I'm sort of angry, but feeling righteous.
Okay.
So, for example, if you were to show me something that said, Trump did this crazy thing, here's a video of Trump doing this completely crazy thing, I would immediately click on it.
Yeah. Okay, so putting us in echo chambers and dividing us.
Yes, and that's the policy that YouTube and Facebook and others use for deciding what to show you next is causing that. If they had a policy of showing you balanced things, they wouldn't get so many clicks and they wouldn't be able to sell so many advertisements. And so it's basically the profit motive is saying, show them whatever will make them click. And what will make them click is things that are more and more extreme.
And that confirm my existing bias.
That confirm my existing bias. So you're getting your biases confirmed all the time.
Further and further and further and further, which means you're driving away.
Which is now in the States, there's two communities that don't hardly talk to each other.
I'm not sure people realize that this is actually happening every time they open an app. But if you go on a TikTok or a YouTube or one of these big social networks, the algorithm, as you said, is designed to show you more of the things that you had interest in last time. So if you just play that out over 10 years, it's going to drive you further and further and further into whatever ideology or belief you have, and further away from nuance and common sense and parity, which is a pretty remarkable thing. Like people don't know it's happening. They just open their phones and experience something and think this is the news or the experience everyone else is having.
Right. So basically, if you have a newspaper and everybody gets the same newspaper,
yeah,
you get to see all sorts of things you weren't looking for. And you get a sense that if it's in the newspaper, it's an important thing or significant thing. But if you have your own news feed, my news feed on my iPhone, 3/4 of the stories are about AI. And I find it very hard to know if the whole world's talking about AI all the time or if it's just my news feed.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI...
Okay, so driving me into my echo chambers, which is going to continue to divide us further and further. I'm actually noticing that the algorithms are becoming even more, what's the word? Tailored. And people might go, oh, that's great. But what it means is they're becoming even more personalized, which means that my reality is becoming even further from your reality.
Yeah, it's crazy. We don't have a shared reality anymore. I share reality with other people who watch the BBC and other BBC News and other people who read The Guardian and other people who read the New York Times. I have almost no shared reality with people who watch Fox News.
It's pretty,
it's worrisome.
Yeah.
behind all this is the idea that these companies just want to make profit, and they'll do whatever it takes to make more profit.
Because they have to.
They're legally obliged to do that.
So we almost can't blame the company, can we?
You can't blame the company because the company has to make money. I always hear people always say, well, these companies are greedy. No, these companies have to make money. That's how they stay around. These companies have other expenses too, you know. They got to pay their employees. They got to pay for expenses, maintenance on the buildings that they own, the property taxes, I believe, the utilities on that building. If they own a factory, data centers, like this, the money goes into stuff. Like, y'all just be thinking that they just be greedy. Now, a lot of it probably is greed, you know, some of it, but you gotta think, like, if you know we're in a shaky economy, you would think that the prices would go higher because, you know, with their materials that they use to supply the things that they sell, they go up higher too. So they got to put the prices higher so they can make money. If let's say you buy something for $14 to sell for $14, you made $0. You made money to go broke. You have no money. You didn't make anything. You didn't make anything. If I buy that thing for $14 and sell it for $28, I made $14. Or if I sell it for $32. Like, it's just using your brain. Like, these companies, they have to make money, yo. Like, y'all want raises and stuff, they have to make the money to get y'all the raises. They can't just pull the money out. They're gonna lose their company. Foreclosure, monopoly, bankrupt. It's over. Most of these companies, they aren't greedy. They just need to make money. I'll be honest. And that's understandable. Human nature.
Capitalism's done very well for us. It's produced lots of goodies.
Yeah.
But you need to have it very well regulated. So what you really want is to have rules so that when some company is trying to make as much profit as possible, in order to make that profit, they have to do things that are good for people in general, not things that are bad for people in general. So once you get to a situation where in order to make more profit, the company starts doing things that are very bad for society, like showing you things that are more and more extreme, that's what regulations are for. So you need regulations with capitalism. Now, companies will always say regulations get in the way, make us less efficient, and that's true. The whole point of regulations is to stop them doing things to make profit that hurt society. And we need strong regulation.
Who's going to decide whether it hurts society or not? Because, you know.
That's the job of politicians. Unfortunately, if the politicians are owned by the companies, that's not so good.
And also the politicians might not understand the technology. You've probably seen the Senate hearings where they wheel out, you know, Mark Zuckerberg and these big tech CEOs. And it is quite embarrassing because they're asking the wrong questions.
Well, I've seen the video of the US Education Secretary talking about how they're going to get AI in the classrooms, except she thought it was called AI.
They need to. They need to. They need to do something because U.S. education, I don't even know what to tell you. Like, the priorities are messed up. This is gonna lead to what I'm gonna tell y'all after this video. Not nothing too serious, but it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. Hey, they need to do something. They might have bumped their head a couple times. I don't know. They need to do something.
She's actually there saying we're going to have all the kids interacting with A1.
There's a school system that's going to start making sure that first graders or even pre-Ks have A1 teaching, you know, every year starting, you know, that far down in the grades. And that's just that's a wonderful thing.
Monday.com, the opposite of any work platform we tried in the past. We tried other work management platforms.
No habla español, papi.
They all sucked.
No English.
And these are the people that...
These are the people in charge.
ultimately the tech companies are in charge because they will
Well,
outsmart.
The tech companies in the States now, at least a few weeks ago when I was there, they were running an advertisement about how it was very important not to regulate AI because it would hurt us in the competition with China.
Yeah. And that's a plausible argument, no?
Yes, it will, but you have to decide, do you want to compete with China by doing things that will do a lot of harm to your society? And you probably don't.
That's true. A lot of people, they say get rid of AI, but again, your enemies have this technology that can boost their society, their military, to be better than yours, more advanced than yours. So do you want that? You gonna have to do what you gotta do. Somebody gonna take over. And I don't know what these people have it in their heads that they think that they can just tell these people to stop. They won't stop. You know how much people tell them to stop on a day-to-day basis and they don't? Their wives tell them not to stop. Their wives tell them to stop. No, honey, stay to work. Here's some pearls. Hey, take 50,000, go shopping. Take the kids out for a week or something. I don't know, man. Get out of my face. I don't know. Talk to. Their own family can't even tell them to stop. What you think you finna do? You gotta use this technology. And this technology, AI isn't evil. The person is evil. A lot of people always say, well, we should take this away so we don't allow these people to do that. And it's like, okay, maybe we should take cars away. People deliberately crash into people, brake check people, unsafe, deliberately cut people off, unsafe. They will pull GUN, Fortnite, Battle Royale, pump shotgun out on people on the road, unsafe. I think, matter of fact, so everything, what I'm trying to say is like everything you do in life is a choice. You can't just say we need to take AI out when AI is really benefiting our society. Teachers, helping the curriculum, and I don't think teachers are the issue. I just think it's the people who are at top who do the curriculum and who do the funding. I think it's that, and then who do the food. Because I don't know what they be feeding us at school, but that ain't chicken, that ain't pork, that ain't beef, that ain't rotisserie meat. I don't know what that is. I think that's gorilla bronchosaurus rex knuckles or something with barbecue sauce and hot sauce on it. I don't think that's real food. I don't know what they be feeding us. I gotta take a picture. I've been into a taco once. It was good. My friends can tell you I ate it for sure. Ate it. But then I the second taco I went to go bite it. The cheese started tasting like pus. Spit that out. Throw in the trash can. I don't know what they be feeding us. It's a forbidden freaking chum bucket or something. I don't know. It's like pig slop from like Good Luck Charlie or something. From the movie or something. I don't know, man. I don't know what they be feeding us, bro. This school, I don't know where do they get the food from? This can't be. Who allows this food to be given to people, though? This can't be humane food. We need to call human rights on the school system. I guess they would say that
what are they it's not just China, it's Denmark, and Australia, and Canada, and the UK.
They're not so worried about.
And Germany. But if they kneecap themselves with regulation, if they slowed themselves down, then the founders, the entrepreneurs, the investors are going to go.
I think calling it kneecapping is sort of taking a particular point of view. It's taking the point of view that regulations are sort of very harmful. What you need to do is just constrain the big companies so that in order to make profit, they have to do things that are socially useful. Like Google search is a great example. That didn't need regulation because it just made information available to people. It was great. But then if you take YouTube, which starts showing you adverts and showing you more and more extreme things, that needs regulation.
But we don't have the people to regulate it, as we've identified.
I think people know pretty well that particular problem of showing you more and more extreme things. That's a well-known problem that the politicians understand. They just need to get on and regulate it.
So that was the next point, which was that the algorithms are going to drive us further into our echo chambers.
Right.
What's next?
Lethal autonomous weapons.
Lethal autonomous weapons.
That means things that can kill you and make their own decision about whether to kill you.
which is the great dream, I guess, of the military-industrial complex, of being able to create such weapons.
So the worst thing about them is,
like I said, it's the people who choose to do this. Now, I think that they already have some versions of this, because I don't know if y'all know this or not, but there's been a couple times that scientists have been getting killed by robots in the lab, and these aren't the little robots that you make to play chess. These are probably something else that you making, because how the freak you getting Homelander to laser your eyes out, and this man is T-1000, the chess player? Nah, you making something in the lab. Nah, you was making something that you shouldn't have. Yeah, man. I don't know what these people be making. They be making the Terminator. They made the Metal Man that always like melts and stuff when he gets like KO'd and he never goes down. He probably made them. Probably slaughtered them. Hey, your best friend might. I'm joking, but yeah, AI is not the problem. It's the people. The people choose what they want to do in life. You choose what your reality is. I don't know how powerful I don't know if you guys know how powerful your brain is. Like, you could literally make your own reality. And I know it sounds like I might have hit something. No, I did not. No. You could make your own reality. So, by me saying that, you could choose whether you want to live in positivity or negativity. This isn't the item's fault. This is the person's fault. You could use a hammer to attack somebody, or you could use a hammer to build a house. Your choice. You could use a car to be irresponsible, do donuts in neighborhoods and stuff, and disturb people, or you could use a car to get to point A to point B. Have fun in. Your choice. Everything in life is about choices. You can't just say that thing is bad because you're bad. Don't say it's trash because you're trash. You can't do that. How you gonna do that? Don't make no sense. You make your own reality. You choose on what plane you want to live in. You want to live in a negative field? Okay, cool. But don't blame that because you chose that.
Big, powerful countries always have the ability to invade smaller, poorer countries. They're just more powerful. Mm-hmm. But if you do that using actual soldiers, you get bodies coming back in bags, and the relatives of the soldiers who were killed don't like it. So you get something like Vietnam. Mm-hmm. In the end, there's a lot of protest at home. If instead of bodies coming back in bags, it was dead robots, there'd be much less protest, and the military-industrial complex would like it much more, because robots are expensive. And suppose you had something that could get killed and was expensive to replace. That would be just great.
Cha-ching!
Big countries
more money,
can invade
more
small
funding.
countries much more easily because they don't have their soldiers being killed.
And the risk here is that these robots will malfunction, or they'll just be more...
No, that's even if the robots do exactly what the people who built the robots want them to do, the risk is that it's going to make big countries invade small countries more often.
More often, because they can.
Yeah, and it's not a nice thing to do.
So it brings down the friction of all.
It brings down the cost of doing an invasion.
Mm.
The dream was travel and freedom, but the reality is just work in different time zones. You know what ruins a vacation? It's not the flight delay or the overpriced latte.
And these machines will be smarter at warfare as well. So they'll be
well,
better.
Even when the machines aren't smarter. So the lethal autonomous weapons, they can make them now. And I think all the big defense models are busy making them. Even if they're not smarter than people, they're still very nasty, scary things.
Because I'm thinking that, they could show just a picture, go get this guy.
Yeah.
And go take out anyone he's been texting. And this little wasp.
So 2 days ago, I was visiting a friend of mine in Sussex who had a drone that cost less than £200. And the drone went up. It took a good look at me, and then it could follow me through the woods. Mm. And it was very spooky having this drone. It was about 2 meters behind me. It was looking at me. And if I moved over there, it could just track me for £200. But it was already quite spooky.
Yeah, and I imagine there's, as you say, a race going on as we speak to who can build the most complex autonomous weapons. There is a risk I often hear that some of these things will combine and the cyber attack will release weapons?
Sure. You can get combinatorially many risks by combining these other risks. So, I mean, for example, you could get a super intelligent AI that decides to get rid of people. And the obvious way to do that is just to make one of these nasty viruses. If you made a virus that was very contagious, very lethal, and very slow, everybody would have it before they realized what was happening. I mean, I think if a superintelligence wanted to get rid of us, it would probably go for something biological like that wouldn't affect it.
Do you not think it could just very quickly turn us against each other? For example, it could send a warning on the nuclear systems in America that there's a nuclear bomb coming from Russia, or vice versa, and one retaliates.
Yeah, I mean, my basic view is there's so many ways in which a superintelligence could get rid of us, it's not worth speculating about them.
What is to stop
what
it?
you have to do is prevent it ever wanting to.
What if you take a crap on your forehead? Why does it matter if the what ifs? Is it happening? Are you breathing? Is anything hindering you? Then you're okay. You could take a crap on your forehead. What if like, bro, stop with the what ifs. What is? That's not happening. If that wasn't happening, it would have been happened. It would have been happened. That's how I get like when people say they get scared over aliens being discovered or something. Dude, if aliens wanted to destroy our planet, you know how primitive our technology is? You know how easy that stuff will be? All you have to do is just turn off all the electricity and destroy the data centers or the data centers and satellite radar centers, all that. That's all you would have to do. Nothing works anymore. What they gonna fight with? Guns? Call of Duty guns? GTRP guns? Primitive. Too easy. That's all you gotta do. Like y'all choose to live in fear, bro. Y'all just need to just let it go, bro. Just let it go. Like, it's not true. Like, that's not gonna happen. It would have been happened. Like, it's not hard to wipe out humanity. I'm not saying it's the best thing. No. I'm just saying it's not hard. Because if you want to win, you could easily just come here and then you win. Or if you really want to get action, like I said, just destroy all the technology centers. Technological data, radar, all that stuff. Nothing works. Radio towers can't talk to each other. And you know how humans get when they can't communicate with each other. They get angry because they're confused. They get violent because they think that they're the enemy. So, it's like, what if like, bro, no, like.
That's what we should be doing research on. There's no way we're going to prevent it from, it's smarter than us, right? There's no way we're going to prevent it getting rid of us if it wants to. We're not used to thinking about things smarter than us. If you want to know what life's like when you're not the apex intelligence, ask a chicken.
Grammarly helps me get the best grades possible while depleting the least amount of hours of my week.
Yeah, I was thinking of my dog Pablo, my French bulldog, this morning as I left home. He has no idea where I'm going. He has no idea what I do.
Right.
I can't even talk to him.
Yeah. And the intelligence gap will be like that.
So you're telling me that if I'm Pablo, my French bulldog, I need to figure out a way to make my owner not wipe me out.
Yeah. So we have one example of that, which is mothers and babies. Evolution put a lot of work into that. Mothers are smarter than babies, but babies are in control. And they're in control because the mother just can't bear lots of hormones and things, but the mother just can't bear the sound of the baby crying.
Not all mothers.
Not all mothers. And then the baby's not in control and then bad things happen. We somehow need to figure out how to make them not want to take over. The analogy I often use is, forget about intelligence, just think about physical strength. Suppose you have a nice little tiger cub It's sort of a bit bigger than a cat. It's really cute. It's very cuddly, very interesting to watch, except that you better be sure that when it grows up, it never wants to kill you, because if it ever wanted to kill you, you'd be dead in a few seconds.
And you're saying the AI we have now is the target cub?
Yep.
And it's growing up?
Yep.
So we need to train it when it's a baby.
Well, now a tiger has lots of innate stuff built in, so you know when it grows up, it's not a safe thing to have around.
But lions, people that have lions as pets,
yes,
sometimes the lion is affectionate to its creator, but not to others.
Yes. And we don't know whether these AIs, we simply don't know whether we can make them not want to take over and not want to hurt us.
Do you think we can? Do you think it's possible to train superintelligence?
I don't think it's clear that we can. So I think it might be hopeless. But I also think we might be able to. And it'd be sort of crazy if people went extinct because we couldn't be bothered to try.
If that's even a possibility, how do you feel about your life's work? Because you were...
Yeah. It sort of takes the edge off it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, the idea is going to be wonderful in healthcare and wonderful in education and wonderful... I mean, it's going to make call centers much more efficient, though one worries a bit about what the people who are doing that job now do. It makes me sad. I don't feel particularly guilty about developing AI like 40 years ago, because at that time we had no idea that this stuff was going to happen this fast. We thought we had plenty of time to worry about things like that. When you can't get the AI to do much and you want to get it to do a little bit more, you don't worry about this stupid little thing is going to take over from people. You just want it to be able to do a little bit more of the things people can do. It's not like I knowingly did something thinking, this might wipe us all out, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a bit sad that it's not just going to be something for good. So I feel I have a duty now to talk about the risks.
And if you could play it forward and you could go forward 30, 50 years and you found out that it led to the extinction of humanity, and if that does end up being the outcome.
Well, if you played it forward and it led to the extinction of humanity, I would use that to tell people, to tell their governments that we really have to work on how we're going to keep this stuff under control. I think we need people to tell governments that governments have to force the companies to use their resources to work on safety. And they're not doing much of that because you don't make profits that way.
One of your students we talked about earlier, Ilya?
Yep.
Ilya left OpenAI.
Yep.
And there was lots of conversation around the fact that he left because he had safety concerns.
Yes.
And he's gone on to set up a AI safety company.
Yes.
Why do you think he left?
I think he left because he had safety concerns.
Really?
I still have lunch with him from time to time.
Oh, okay.
His parents live in Toronto. When he comes to Toronto, we have lunch together. He doesn't talk to me about what went on at OpenAI, so I have no inside information about that. But I know Ilya very well, and he is genuinely concerned with safety. So I think that's why he left.
Because he was one of the top people. I mean, he was
probably the most important person behind the development of ChatGPT. The early versions like GPT-2, he was very important in the development of that.
You know him personally, so you know his character.
Yes, he has a good moral compass. He's not like someone like Musk who has no moral compass.
Does Sam Altman have a good moral compass?
We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know Sam, so I don't want to comment on that.
But from what you've seen, are you concerned about the actions that they've taken? Because if you know Ilya, and Ilya's a good guy and he's left.
That will give you some insight, yes. It will give you some reason to believe that there's a problem there. And if you look at Sam's statements some years ago, he sort of happily said in one interview, this stuff will probably kill us all. That's not exactly what he said, but that's what it amounted to. Now he's saying you don't need to worry too much about it. And I suspect that's not driven by seeking after the truth. That's driven by seeking after money.
Interested in modeling and acting? Calling all kids and teens. Barbizon is your best first step. Sign up at barbizonmodeling.com to attend the upcoming Zoom audition.
Is it money or is it power?
Yeah, I shouldn't have said money. It's some combination of those, yes.
Okay, I guess money's a proxy for power, but I've got a friend who's a billionaire and he is in those circles. And when I went to his house and had lunch with him one day, he knows lots of people in AI, building the biggest AI companies in the world. And he gave me a cautionary warning across his kitchen table in London, where he gave me an insight into the private conversations these people have, not the media interviews they do where they talk about safety and all these things, but actually what some of these individuals think is going to happen.
And what do they think is going to happen?
It's not what they say publicly.
No.
You know, one person who I shouldn't name, who's leading one of the biggest AI companies in the world, he told me that he knows this person very well, and he privately thinks that we're heading towards this kind of dystopian world where we have just huge amounts of free time, we don't work anymore, and this person doesn't really give a fuck about the harm that it's going to have on the world. And this person, who I'm referring to, is building one of the biggest AI companies in the world. And I then watch this person's interviews online.
Trying to figure out which of three people it is.
Yeah, well, it's one of those three people.
Okay.
And I watch this person's interviews online and I reflect on the conversation that my billionaire friend had with me, who knows him. And I go, fucking hell, this guy's lying publicly. Like, he's not telling the truth to the world. And that's haunted me a little bit. It's part of the reason I have so many conversations around AI on this podcast, because I'm like, I don't know if I think some of them are a little bit sadistic about power. I think they like the idea that they will change the world, that they will be the one that fundamentally shifts the world.
I think Musk is clearly like that, right?
He's such a complex character that I don't really know how to place him.
Yeah, you doing the method. I'm not saying no names either. And I wasn't there. But you ain't finna give me, hey man, shout out to all my peoples though. Shout out to my peoples who get money. T-Banks.
Musk.
He's done some really good things.
Hey, I didn't reference him. I just meant that's the quote. Shout out to all my peoples who get money.
That was a really good thing to do.
Yeah.
Some of the things he said about self-driving were a bit exaggerated, but that was a really useful thing he did. Giving the Ukrainians communication during the war with Russia.
Starlink,
that was a really good thing he did. There's a bunch of things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also done some very bad things.
If you love the Diary of a CEO brand and you watch this channel, please do me a huge favor.
Yeah, also I would just be wondering,
become part of the 15% of the viewers.
When people have all this free time and they need to make money, what do you think's gonna happen? People gotta feed their families. What do you think's gonna happen when people are out of work, have too much time on their hands, and they need to make some stuff happen? They need some money. Hey. What you think? But yeah, so let me get into the first week of school. Now, the first week of